Hello, visitors, and welcome to Hawthorne House. My name is Aria, and today I am going to do a reading tailored to the people who find this video because I know that it's going to be incense all over. It's going to be a fairly specified collective message. It's not going to be broken down by zodiac like many of my videos have been, and it's not a pick a card. So it is more of a collective message, but it's tailored to a very specific energy group. I don't really know how to describe that energy group, except in the way of those searching for clues on their life journey, on their life path, or confirmation of their purpose, their north node energy, their higher calling, which I guess is sort of vague in general, but that's just how Hawthorne House is sometimes. Spirits like to chatter a lot, or they like to give us vague messages and make us go play scavenger hunt and find clues. So, you know, what we're going to do is, I feel like I'm not going to ask a specific question, but I am going to read the cards a bit differently, and you'll see what I mean by that when I start to pull them, because I'm going to pull them live. I may have to pause the video and move my incense, though, because it, like, once it gets burned down to a certain point, it decides that it wants to fall over, and I don't want it to burn anything, so I might have to fix that. I'm just going to read the cards as I feel inspired or moved to do so. And I'm going to draw decks the same way, which is pretty typical here for Hawthorne House, but I'm going to read them differently. If you've watched any of my previous videos, then when I pull out the Teacup Oracle Tea Leaf, it's always Teacup Tarot. Tea Leaf Oracle deck, I read the face up cards first and then the face down ones, and I'm going to do that for this too, but to a specific purpose. The face down cards that come out are going to center more around maybe what is hidden from you or what you don't see, and we're going to see if we can get clues to that regarding your current situation, the path you're on, and where you need to head next, I suppose. All right, so I'm just gonna start pulling cards, and as I do that, I'm gonna talk to you. Just chatter and let the cards fall as they may. The reason that I decided to do this reading was because I am at an impasse, and I had a dream. I had a dream about keys, which is funny because the first card that came out involves keys, and we will look at that in a minute, but I'm just gonna keep going for now. I had a dream about my Aunt Marie Hawthorne, and I were at this metaphysical shop, and I pulled out, we were both passing by this table full of stuff, full of cards, sort of like my altar and rocks and crystals and things. And we both stopped and said the word key at the same time. And the thing was, we were both looking at different things because we looked at each other when we said the word key. I was looking at a card that had a key on it, depicted on it. It was an oracle card of some sort. I don't remember if it said anything else. And she had a necklace that was a key on a string of opals, I think, because at the very bottom of the key, let's see, use this as an example because it is a necklace. But at the very bottom of the key here, there was a little teardrop opal, and she said that it was for protection and purification, protection and peace. They were P words. And I looked it up, and opal, I think, does have something to do with purification. I can't remember now. I looked it up yesterday. This was yesterday. I didn't have time to do the reading yesterday. There we go. Let's move these so you can see them when I lay them out. But it, oh, maybe you won't be able to see them. I'll have to stack them. Sorry, guys. My space is not large, but we will look at those in a second. Sorry. I looked up the meaning of an opal. I'm not like well versed in gems and things, but as I was looking up the meaning, which was significant or I guess important in some way, what I ended up finding was that it was a October birthstone, which links to Dana Mae Hawthorne, my grandma, who is or was a Scorpio and born at the end of October. And I really felt like there was some connection there. I've been getting a lot of messages about forgiveness and all that stuff. And let me tell you guys, forgiving people, it's tough cookies. Like, it is not an easy thing to do. And I think anyone who tells you, oh, you need to forgive, you know, those who have done you wrong, I don't necessarily think, I think if you're going to forgive them, that should be up to you, and it should be at your own pace and time. And if you're not ready, you're not ready. Sorry, it was time to very gently move that. But also, I'm definitely of the forgive but don't forget mentality. I'm realizing that, you know, holding on to grudges and obsessive thinking about certain situations, not great, right? Like, but not great for you because it just messes up your whole trying to do things for yourself on your own. I feel like, and the reason that I'm telling this story about the like dream and the forgiveness and the opal might mean something to you or Scorpios, is because I've been getting a lot of messages lately about the collective walking away from things that no longer, oh, this is a lot. Well, I'll pull them all because they seemed like they wanted to come out. I'm just going to lay these out, and like I said, we're going to go through them together, but I'm going to have to rearrange them, you know, so you can actually look at them, but we'll kind of deconstruct. I feel like this is Mahjong. I'm getting very much like, my grandma loved that game. Sorry. The reason that I'm telling this story is because I've been getting a ton of collective messages about the collective moving away from things that no longer are taking them on the correct path or journey or place that they want to be or go to. I don't know, there's this huge energy of big shift, big transformation, and leaving something behind. And like not a small something either, but a big life-changing decision. And the reason I say that is, and the reason I'm telling this personal story is because I'm in that same point in my life where I know that a big change, a big shift is coming. And a part of me is like, I don't know that I'm ready for that. But a part of me is like, let's do it. I'm over the waiting, you know. I'm tired of the not enough. I'm tired of this feeling of lack or of not being recognized or appreciated by the people that I feel like should be my people, you know? People who should support me and like want the best for me. It just doesn't feel like I'm getting that kind of energy. I'm pulling some door cards too. Just they've got like cute little messages on them. And some of they're kind of cheesy, but I really like the doors on here, and I think even the messages, like, they're little oracle bits, you know, clues maybe that, or just messages, like sometimes you get, you know, expect the unexpected or expect some news, stuff like that. So I really want to have that for you guys as just some extra messages here. And then we might draw some teacup tarot. I know that I'm pulling out all the cards before I'm actually reading any of them, which I don't normally do, and I haven't actually really looked at them as I've pulled them out. I've just pulled them out while I was talking to you, because I did this for myself the other day, and I really wanted to see how it worked with a collective reading. And I'm going to just sort of move everything out, right? And we're going to start with these center cards here. I'm going to move this one down as well, and we'll look at it kind of in order. Okay, so the first cards that we have are the Seven of Swords, which is actually keys in this case. And the Crow, a collector of keys, a collector of clues, unlocking doors, which is significant because I feel like seven could be significant to you. This could be the seventh door, the way to rebirth, endings. Or rebirth is the seventh door. So I feel like you've come to this point of having all the things you need to unlock that final door, to go through the final door, to leave behind, because you've also got the Eight of Cups here. And I always find this Eight of Cups very, this particular card in this particular deck very interesting, because it's unlike any other Eight of Cups you've seen. It's not just a walking away energy like you often see in the more traditional decks. This has a sense of having learned something to me, gain some sort of wisdom or insight with the owl here, and then using that almost to shed your skin. You've disguised yourself for a really long time, right? Like she's got a little, let's see if this will focus. Come on, show me her face. Excuse me. I don't know why it doesn't want to focus. It was doing fine earlier. There it is. She's wearing like a crow disguise. There's a lot of creepy crawlies around. I feel like having been hiding either a true part of yourself or an important, integral part of yourself for a very, very long time. Going through a very, very dark period. And you've got the High Priestess here too. And I want to point out that you have the Two of Cups, the Two of Wands, and the High Priestess. That's 2, 2, 2. And then down here, which we're going to get to in a minute, you've got the Two of Swords, which is another 2. So twos, everyone. Twos for everything. I don't know why yet. We'll find out. Twos have been showing up for me like a lot though. And just this morning, this morning, as in the middle of the night at 2 a.m., my friend and I were talking. My sister, as I've mentioned her, my Taurus friend. We were talking, and she actually like made note of it being 2:22 when it spun around, and we catch ourselves doing that when we notice it with one another. But last night, it was after this huge, like, discussion that we'd had on the tail end of that, and it felt like the words I heard were divine timing with the twos. It just feels like, and it's so funny the way that this is set up, because it leans down here, and this is the Two of Swords. See that? See how it's aligned? It's all in alignment. And that's the sense that I get, is that there's something coming into alignment for you that is allowing you to leave behind this secrecy, this locked away part of yourself maybe. This card here might be a clue as to that secrecy, but we've also got the Two of Cups here. So I'm going to look at that next because it was the third card that came out. The Two of Cups. Wow, I never noticed before that there is a skull. I remember, though, that this card, they're harpies, I think, in this imagery. And this is another one. I love this deck so much, but this is another one of my favorite cards. Just the expressions they wear, it's so regal and elegant, but you can tell there's like affection between them. There's a sense of sisterhood here, and it's very much, I know that the Two of Cups is often called like the soulmate card, or the card of union, the card of reciprocity, reciprocating feelings and things like that. It's usually shown as a cup with like two streams, or two cups shared. But with this one, that same energy, I get this soulmate energy, but I feel like it's almost, the word I'm hearing is tribal, but it's like, it's ancient, deep bonding that isn't necessarily romantic. It can be, but it really feels like there's this companionship here. Oh, yeah, no, that makes sense. There's a companionship here that is helping you through this moment of the crossroads, because the Two of Wands is a crossroads. It's the waiting, it's the deciding which way to go. It's having been observant of your situation, finally making a decision. And you can see that the bird in this image is looking to the Eight of Cups. It's looking to walk away from something. That's the sense that I get. The sense of moving on. And I just feel like for a lot, I feel like for the collective as a whole, like all the zodiacs, whether they believe in this woo stuff or not, spirituality, what have you, whatever you call it, this is spirituality for me, but it's sort of just a way of life. It's just ingrained. So I call it, but we call it woo when my friends and I, when my gathering and I, when we get together and do things magical and mystical, we call it woo, just because it's fun. We like to have fun with it. It's not always super serious, but we get to these points of these great moments of awakening as a collective. It's like a universal leveling up, right? It doesn't mean that we're all reaching the same level. It just means universally we are all coming to the next step. And it doesn't mean either that literally everyone is entering this next step, because there will be people who refuse to step forward, where cycles have to be repeated. That's just the way of life. But there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with having to repeat your cycles. You repeat them until you don't need to repeat them anymore, and then you move on. With the High Priestess, I feel like your intuition and the intuition of someone close to you is helping guiding your decision here, but your intuition is the more powerful one to listen to. But I think in this case, it's that this is someone supporting your intuition in this decision. Like, they understand where you're coming from. because you're coming from this secrecy, this kind of just getting by energy. I know that the Seven of Swords is often depicted as like the thief. At least in my mind, it's always the like, but sometimes I get this message of take what you can and go. And with this, it feels like you're taking what you've learned, what you've gathered, the keys and clues that you have, and you're running with it. I want to look at this flipped card next. Sorry, my nails. Okay, well, come here. Yeah, okay, and the Three of Cups. There's a celebration here with this decision, I think. There's almost like but I'm getting the sense of a celebration between, it's not just the people around you, this is a celebration within yourself. Like finally feeling like you have control or direction. I don't know, that's a really interesting message to get with Three of Cups for celebration, because it's usually like a, you know, it's a party, it's a lighthearted get together, it's a gathering of people, companionship. But with this, I'm really getting, it's a very, when the initial celebration happens, it's going to be internal. It's an internal celebration that then moves outward and makes waves into the people around you. Because you've got the Victory card. How do I want to do this? Because I just sort of laid them out randomly, but I feel like the victory over conflict, right? Because to have the Six of Wands right on top, right by the 5, and the 5 was the one I laid out first because I did it in that like counterclockwise circle. It's like you've risen above the challenges presented to you here. You are reaching victory, but I feel like almost you've made a judgment call with the Judgment card here. This is also like a very heavy rebirth kind of significance too. Like you have risen, and it's also a card of higher calling. I feel like that's exactly what these angels are doing, is summoning them, reviving them, raising them up to a higher calling, because then you've got the Eight of Pentacles right beneath that, which is the work. It's mastery of your work, your talent, your passion, your dream, something that you've been working on coming to play powerfully here. I feel like with this indecision card, it's not so much indecision with this Two of Swords. It can be hesitation, but I also am getting this huge sense of waiting for something else to make the first move. You've got your back turned to the water, and with this particular card in this deck, I always get this sense that something is going to move from the water, out of the sides of the image here, and Knight here is waiting, or the man, the being here is waiting for that movement to decide which direction to swing the swords. So there is some hesitation here. There is hesitation with this move, with this leaving behind. And I really think that your intuition and something that you've been working on, something you work on, is going to be kind of the guiding light that leads you to making the decision. But I also, with that sense of waiting, because you have the Knight of Swords here too. And when this decision is made with this Knight of Swords, when the first movement is made here, there's not going to be any hesitation and follow through. Like, the Knight of Swords is methodical, but they're very, very straightforward, fast moving, blunt. Like, the decision is made, go. Like, once you start swinging your sword, it can be incredibly hard to stop the swing. So I feel like that works to your advantage here, is once you make this decision, once you know which way you need to go, like, everything's going to start moving very quickly, because then you have the Star card. It's going to move not only towards healing with the Star energy, but also your inner light, your creativity, your Star energy. Your Star energy is what helps you overcome this conflict here. I'm also getting that something that you see in your dreams or dream for yourself, because I'm getting this from night to dawn to dusk, right? It was a long, hard fought battle, but some knowledge or insight you gained in the night. This could be some knowledge or the knowledge or insight you gained in like a dark night of the soul, even, I'm feeling. Some part of your awakening is what is going to help you triumph over this conflict. And there's gonna be a little bit of conflict, I feel like, when you make this decision. But I also think that that conflict is going to be resolved in your favor, obviously. Let's look at these little oracle cards. We've got desire. So here's your dream card. What is it you desire? What is it you desire, visitors? What do you want? Because I feel like all you have to do at this point is decide what you want and, like, ask for it. Not that you don't have to put any work in, because work is always part of the process. I might read this out of the book, but we'll see. And then healing. What did I say with the Star card? The Rose of Healing. I feel like I get this sense that the path that we're being led on to follow our desires, that's a big collective message, is to follow your desire. Don't worry about being weird or unaccepted by society. Like, that's over with now. Like, with things like YouTube, fine, it like kind of started, but if you look at the last 3 years, the concept of not doing your own thing and being as weird as you want or as weird as you are, like, and weird, not a bad thing, weird, but like, it's just being authentic to yourself, feels like it's almost a requirement to get through what we've all been going through. It's like you need to exist wholly as yourself if you want to get to this next step, is a message that I've been getting a lot in the last, especially the last couple months, but the last couple years, it's been kind of gnawing at me. This sense where you need to, even if it kind of makes you uncomfortable at first, because we're all conditioned to feel and think and be a certain way just from the way that we're raised. I feel like a lot of the collective is shedding those old, they're making their own traditions and beliefs and finding their own paths and deciding their own beliefs and where they want to follow. And a lot of that leads into spirituality, but it doesn't have to. But the big takeaway from it is that it's shedding the expectations of the generations that came before us. And it's been going on not just with millennials, but it's continuing to build momentum through that generation into the next. And the next generation, what is it? Zoomers? Is that what they're calling them? Gen Z? Zoomers. Sorry, you guys, you're going to have to forgive me. I don't know anything of this lingo. I am untouched by the reality of like just the technological world and stuff and how people do. And I've lived a very strange life. And one day I'm going to tell you about that very strange life. But for now, we're just going to say that I'm a little out of touch with things like that. But I know a lot of things, other things that I want to share with you. So I want to read our 2 little cards here, and then I might pull a couple teacup tarot, which is not what they're called. Tea leaf oracle. It's never going to be correct. Okay, so here's your first door. This is actually the second door that came out, but I think I'm going to read it first. I don't know. I feel the need to do so. I really like, it's actually kind of more of a hallway leading to a door. It's like there's a long stretch you gotta go through. But it's beautiful architecture, so like, enjoy it. What's the card say? It says, oh yeah, it's the card of patience. It says everything, here's what I mean about it's a little kitschy because it's kind of poetic, but I like the rhyme scheme. Everything soon will come to light, and then you will see things will be all right. Pass this card on. So this is a pass it on message. This is patience for all. Come on, focus. There you go. Everything soon will come to light. Card of illumination. See, that's that decision. That's that you'll know. You'll know when to swing. You'll know when to step forward. You'll know when to move. And then you've got this really pretty like green gate opening into some really nice atmospheric, aesthetically pleasing. Come on now. There you go. See, a garden gate. Some flower bushes growing in the background. I really like that. And it says, oh, it's a note on love. Secret. Not what it says. It says, seek different seasons and enter into the unknown. When love is the focus, foundations and goal. When love is the focus, foundation and goal, blessed is the body, mind, and soul. Interesting. This I'm taking as not just like a, romantic love. In fact, I'm not even taking it as romantic love in this reading because it, come on now. There. Because it actually feels definitely more like, first of all, that self-care energy of, take care of yourself. Go on nice walks. I went on a lovely walk this morning and eat things that are good for you, but also things that you enjoy eating, No, don't necessarily restrict yourself, but be mindful of what you're doing. Movement is important. There's this energy of restlessness. And I'll be the first to admit, like, sometimes when you're restless, you think you're bored and then you can like stress eat, or you're stressed and you stress eat, or you are restless but you don't want to do anything. Maybe that's just like ADHD, the dyslexia. It doesn't want to talk today. But it's that sense of like, when there's so much you feel like you want, need, or have to do, right? And then you can't do any of it. And I'm getting that kind of energy. But like, this is a very, be mindful. You've got this. It's just a matter of the right timing. I think I mentioned divine timing earlier. Okay, I want to take a couple of these tea leaf tarot, tea leaf oracle as final messages. I'm not sure Well, all right. If they'll all align for everyone, or if it'll be a few different messages for a few of you. Sometimes that's just how they do. And I just sort of take them and roll with it and tell the story as it comes up. And if the cards fit you, but the story is not as exact as you feel like it should be, then you are free to form your own narrative. Even if I'm only just showing you the cards. You got a lot of face down here. This is a lot of like what's not seen by you. And that was the energy, like the things you aren't seeing is that there's a celebration coming, right? That is centered around your desire and healing. I don't know why my hand is just freaked out there. They were like, no, don't touch those cards. Okay, well, goodbye. The card fell on the floor. I will pick it up in a second. This card really wants to come out, so I'm just going to let it. All right, let's pick up the other two. Everything but these. Okay, so literally everything but these two are face down. So. The first one was crib, which is birth or conception of a child or enterprise. Excellent. Okay. So, this could be very literal for some. You're having a baby, you're starting a business, but this is giving me a very creative energy, and I feel like coming out with the coins card face up here, which is money will be coming to you. This is very much at least related to financial matters. So an enterprise, this could be an entrepreneur kind of business. This could be a new job if that's what you're looking for, if that's the thing you're waiting for. Maybe it's a new job offer that will let you decide where you're going to go and when. I do want to look at your face down cards. They all sort of flew in different directions, and I'm going to put them in the way that they did come out. Should we do 3, 2, 1 or 1, 2, 3? I think we'll do 3, 2, 1. All right, so you've got haystack, karma, you will reap what you have sown. See, and I feel like a lot of you, with this energy, a lot of you have put a lot of work, not just into your dreams, your desires, your path, your North Star, your North Node, but into yourselves and coming into that. And I feel like that's going to be repaid, or it's going to pay off. You've got dogs, getting together with friends. Okay, so these are things that aren't seen to you, is how we're going to read these. So you're going to be getting together with friends too soon. I feel like this is definitely good karma with the coins and the crib here. Some good karma is coming to you. Some good news. Something you don't see with karma, though. A throne, position of authority. So maybe you've been in a position that has been not one of authority. I'm trying to think of what the opposite of that would be. Controlled by an authority. This could be, again, this could be boss, job. This could be a relationship where you don't have as much individual power, but I feel like you're not only going to come into individual power here, but you're going to rise to a position of authority in some manner. And with the karma, I almost feel like it's a turnaround. I'm getting Wheel of Fortune energy from that. All right, and then the 2, we've got kangaroo, unsettled times, need to plan ahead. Now is definitely the time for making plans. If you're sitting in this indecision, there's no reason not to make plans and contingency plans if you feel the need to. And then you've got turkey, someone is behaving stupidly. So I'm getting the energy that like this, for some of you, is the person or thing that you were leaving behind. Like it could be a person in your life, in your work, in your personal relationship who is behaving stupidly, being an idiot. And that could be what's causing these unsettled times. I almost probably should have read it 1, 2, 3, because this is like a building up. Dog barking, advice from a friend. No, I guess it's right, because if you, I did it all in kind of that counterclockwise, so I really should have. But there's the Two of Cups, right? That support that I was talking about might be a really good friend who is helping you see and plan. See what's going on around you and plan, because I feel like you've been sort of in this, like, if your journey thus far has been anything like mine, you've been in this really dark place. And now you're trying to heal yourself and come out of that place. And a lot of healing's been done, right? But I personally, and I'm telling you this because I feel like maybe some of you might also feel that, it's this need to reconnect with my own, like, heart and soul. I feel like I lost connection with the very emotional part of myself. And there's a lot of cups up here with this Three of Cups, the Two of Cups. There's that energy of, it's very new emotions, right? It's very in the early stages of the deck. It's like coming back into one's emotions. And I feel like a lot of the collective is coming out of this almost like deep sleep where emotion is regarded. We've been very much logic brain because we've had to get through the shit that has just taken over the last couple years, right? But now it's almost like, and this could be decades for some of us. It's been a long time coming for me. But like, I feel like now that need to come back into the emotional body is like evoked. It's making that restless energy a lot stronger. And you're noticing more about the people and things around you, about needing to plan ahead. It's like your intuition is on point, right? So you're able to sense, oh, maybe I need to, it could be something as simple, listen, it could be something as simple as, oh, I think it's going to rain today, I'm going to bring an umbrella. Which I know isn't technically like unsettling times, but like nobody wants to go out looking really nice and then get drenched in rain, right? And miss plans because of it. Something like that. You know, it could be as simple as one of your coworkers has been gossiping and you didn't know about it, and your friend tells you about it, and you're like, well, okay, well, we're going to move around that, you know, and I'm going to overtake them for this job. You know, like, because you weren't the one gossiping. It's just that sort of energy of seeing more clearly, especially with the High Priestess here. And I feel like with the healing card and the High Priestess, I almost feel like you're healing your intuition along with your heart. Which is a message for someone. Yeah, okay. So I think that's all I have for now. Collective, friends, visitors, guests of honor. I'm not sure how you guys will think of this reading. I might do a couple more like it. I might just, you know, freestyle is the word I'm looking for. I might just freestyle for a bit because I was trying to have a schedule, right? But because my life itself is kind of in flux right now, I'm just gonna do when I can, how I can. My incense fell. That's alright, I'll clean that up in a minute. So yeah, I'm gonna do what I can to be consistent for you, and if I'm not gonna plan anything ahead at the moment. I do want to do something for midsummer, and that's the only thing that I'm doing as far as planning goes for the channel, is to do a big sort of midsummer reading and celebration. I might have 2 different videos, one that's like a festival kind of celebration energy, and then because it'll be a deity video again, but I might do that and then do the actual deity reading separate. We'll see. So look forward to that if you want to join in. If not, you can feel free to come and go from Hawthorne House as you please. It is a place for coming and going, finding and knowing, and my accent was very light today, so at least I think it was. No country y'alls. We'll see what happens later, next time. So if you liked this video, give it a like, I guess, and thank you so much for watching. I hope that this reading made sense for the people who found it and needed to hear it. And until next time, goodbye.